Hey, welcome back everybody to the JR Wisdom channel, the JR Wisdom Show. Coming at you with another topic, and unfortunately it is one that is controversial, so to speak, or that many of you, especially the women who are viewing, will find this controversial. And in this video I'll be discussing the top 3 reasons why men aren't marrying you or just don't want to marry you, and a lot of these that you might already be familiar with, and based upon what I'll be saying, there will be some, you'll be defensive, obviously, and that's one of the points that I'll be addressing. Just by me making this video, you'll be defensive, and I'll be addressing that same trait of being defensive. Most of you women, you already have all the answers, so you don't need to watch this video. You can click off too. And some of you might not say, you might say, I don't need a man. So you shouldn't be watching this video either. So I'm gonna give you these three reasons. No need for a seminar for those of you who have been going to seminars and dating coaches. I mean, nothing wrong with a dating coach, but just these seminars on basically how to get married or how to get a husband and things of that nature. So we understand, as far as the black woman in America, in the diaspora, you've been carrying the burden, so to speak, for the black race, or the African American race within the diaspora of America. You feel that men don't respect you. You feel that no one respects you. But what you need to realize, we have to go back in history and understand that now, despite what you believe, the black woman in America is a protected group, so to speak. We look at the whole issues of, yes, we know the black woman is the most educated, but she's also the least married. STD rate is high, and the abortion rate is high, and the single mother rate is high. So just to look at this whole thing, where did this all start? Has this always been a part of not just so much African American culture or black culture, but just African culture? Has this always been this way? Or did this start, which, everybody tends to go back to the feminist movement of the 60s, so to speak, and that came about before the father or the husband was a part of the household. So after the civil rights movement and all these things, the feminist movement began, and things like that, which separated the husband or the man from the household, and that way the government stepped in, and the government was the father, so to speak, to support the woman, or in this case we're saying to support the black woman and support her kids by giving her food and shelter. So that's something that that kicks this off. So we can see where the black woman, or can say that she's, bearing the load for the race, so to speak, because there's this independence concept that came about from this. And a lot of women will tend to say, even nowadays, that I don't need a man, which is, really cliche, and so many women say it, other women tend to believe it. And, I understand, part of it as a black woman, you don't want to be vulnerable, as far as, let's say, so to speak, submitting to a man. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to give your entire self to a man, so to speak. But that's just something that you're just going to have to come to terms with eventually. So with that being said, I've already talked about that. I'm going to go into the first reason, which generally, like I said before, as far as being defensive, you can't criticize or critique a black woman, so to speak. She can do it to every other race, any other person, even do it to her own sisters, but you can't, don't you dare ever critique you or basically criticize you about your faults, and you tend to not admit when you're wrong, especially if you have fiance, boyfriend, whatever. You don't want to admit when you're wrong or whatever. And men hate that when you don't want to admit when you're wrong, you're always right and there's no accountability. When you're asked about a particular situation or about something in general, even an argument, or a man calls you out on something, you had the tactics of deflect. You deflect what he's saying. You obviously going to defend it. What you're saying, you're going to defend yourself. Basically, there's no wrongdoing, and then you're going to deter it or put it off on something that he's doing. Like, for example, if you ask, if a man asks, "Hey, did you wash the dishes, or did you prepare this, and this?" Or basically even, ask, "Hey, did you do this that I asked you to do," or something. An attitude will come about, and basically it'll be deflected or deterred to something else that the man might be doing. You know, and that's the thing, that you don't like to be checked by a man, so to speak. And a lot of times these things, when a man, this is a man who has genuine interest in you, that that attempts to check you, or you'll say, well, before, every other man I've been with before didn't have an issue, so it's not me, it must be you. That's what women will tend to say. It's not, no man has ever said this to me before. It's not me, so it's got to be you. And this is, if, for example, if a man didn't care about you, a man wouldn't say anything. A man who's genuinely interested in you and cares about you, he'll say something to you. So you got these simps and these users, these men who just want to get something out of you, like sex, or basically freeloading off you. They're not going to say anything to you. They'll even, like I said, they're simps, and they'll patronize you. If these issues aren't coming up, he really doesn't care. So at the end of the day, this man will address this issue to you. But who are you to say that what a man, you like I said, you can't be criticized, but who are you to say what a man likes, or what a man wants to address with you, so to speak? And when you come across a strong man like that, there's a power struggle. You tend to clash or whatever. You mean, have an attitude, and when it comes to certain things, you lie. You even lie to yourself about these things like that. So, and one of the worst things you can do is consult with one of your friends who's not even married, or your single friends, and they'll try to give you some advice or advise you on something. They can't even keep a man. They're not married. They don't have a husband. Or if they do have a husband, you just look at their relationship, and it's the same way, where she's running a relationship. She doesn't have a strong man. She has a weak man. Maybe she's taking care of her man. That's just one of those things right there. So the second reason is being insecure, just completely insecure based upon your past relationships. That insecurity can be you pressing your man, or being condescending, which is like the number one. I should have had that as number one, but being condescending to your man, so to speak, talking down to him, thinking that you know everything and that he's dumb. You know everything about everything, and he doesn't know anything, but you know everything except what's good for you. And that's one of the issues. If you can't admit that you're wrong, then basically, and you're being condescending to a man, if you can't admit that you're wrong, that's telling the man that you love yourself more than you love him. And what you tend to hear is, I'm not putting up with nothing from a man. You know what I'm saying? No man is going to tell me what to do. So in that case, when a woman generally says that, either that woman is paying all the bills, and this man is just laying up with her, living off her. That's why she's able to say these things. Cause I'll be damned if a man paying all the bills and he still has a woman talking to him like that. So a man will sit back and allow you to say these things because he's tolerating you till he finds something else. He has no intent on marrying you, especially if this has been going on for 2 years. I mean, not 2 years, multiple years, and he's still saying this stuff. It's something. It's something. It's something else there. So when it comes to stuff like that, a man will, like when it comes to the condescending, you're not gonna tell me what to do. A man's who basically is not ready to or can't emotionally deal with you. He's either going to react by either cheating on you because he doesn't want to deal with this instead of leaving. He's just going to cheat on you and have something on the side, or he's going to react by putting the beaters on you, which, like I said, a lot of men emotionally, they get pumped up or they get in a certain space that they don't know how to communicate. And maybe both of y'all having communication issues, and that's what he's going to end up doing. So that's just another reason. The third reason, take a sip of my tea, is you're uncompromising on anything, on any and everything. And you have super high expectations. You want a man in the image that you have in your head. This is the way a man should be. Or you basically want a man that's a male version of yourself. You have it all laid out on what a man should be doing. And some women tend to say a woman will have like 3-4 kids, she won't necessarily be a professional, but she wants a man who has his own house, car, no kids, X amount of money, and this man's supposed to take care of her and her kids. And basically, she doesn't really bring anything to the table, or they're not equally yoked, so to speak, when it comes to that, as far as assets and liabilities go. Some women can be pretentious and just think that their beauty is enough, and they don't have to. And I said this in my other videos. You don't have to cook, clean, none of this stuff like that. My kids are need to be taken care of. I'm just going to live off my beauty. You should be happy to be in my presence. You need to take care of me and my family. And that's just the way it's going to be. Like I said, this man needs to be a certain way, and she doesn't have to be like equally yoked, so to speak. Some women like this that have children, they don't want the man to discipline the kids at all. She wants to discipline the kids, and these kids tend to be spoiled a lot of times. These kids will talk back, and any solid dude or any solid man is not gonna sit back and let a kid talk back to him, or stand for a kid talking back to the mother, boy or girl, or whatever. He's not gonna stand for that. He's a real solid dude, a good man, so to speak, is not going to tolerate that. So it's things like that, uncompromising. It's a set way. You're not going to tell me you're not going to tell me to cook. You're not going to tell me to clean. You're going to take care of these kids. You're going to pay the bills, and that's going to be that. Meanwhile, all I want from you is basically, at the end of the day, from a man is a companion, sex, social media to show off the relationship, and basically security with a house to stay in or a home to stay in, and basically be taken care of, but no reciprocity in that whole deal. So these are the basic 3 reasons for the most part why a lot of women tend to stay single, and will make up all the excuses. But until the point where you can accept that, or you can accept criticism, or you can look in the mirror and be bone cold honest, so to speak, or, you know, from especially from your other half. If you can't accept criticism and you're steady being disrespectful, getting loud, condescending, you know, the whole insecurity that will definitely drive a man off, uncompromising on stuff, it's just not gonna happen. And I hate for it to be that way. Like I said, I know as black women you don't feel appreciated. You don't feel like, you know, the everybody's against you, all races are against you, other races are taking black men away, so to speak. Black men are flocking to all these other races, stuff like that. All the good men are taken. But these are most of the things that are quick turn offs, and it's easy to tell. You might be living with a man now who's just basically using you or basically tolerating you because he doesn't have anything better to go to, you know, and he's just living off of you. But if you got a man that's providing for you, that's completely taking care of the household, doing all these things, you know, it's there's what's the reason for all the animosity and the defiance, so to speak. And I'm not saying it's all about conformity, because like I said before, man and woman are equal but different. But this is one of those things. A lot of things, what men tend to do, men tend to do what is in the best interest of the situation for the long haul, like I've said before. In these situations with the emotions of women, a woman can ask, for example, in a lot of these, and this is another thing to add that I wanted to add. A woman can ask a man to do something. A man will do it, you know, but she'll want to have a emotional conversation about it, like, so to speak, like, hey, can you do this with the kids, or can you take this out, or can you fix this, or are you gonna do this, or whatever. And the man's like, cool, I'll take care of it. But after he's already said I take care of it, a lot of women tend to want to have an additional conversation after that is involving emotions, basically, or they get off on getting a rise out of a man emotionally by, you know, not, you know, pecking at him, you know, wanting to talk continuously about the issue that's already been resolved. You know what I'm saying? You know, washing the dishes or doing a chore. You want to have an extended conversation, an emotional sharing session about, you know, certain issues, when it doesn't have to go that far about these things. You know what I'm saying? Writing 5-page letters and stuff like that for something that the man is taking. He's already got it handled. He's already got it taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. So I'm sorry I made this video so long. I know the comments are coming. Feel free to comment. But like I said, from the circles that I've been in, these secret conversations that I've had amongst other men, and, you know, stories and things of that nature, this is basically what it boils down to. So, you know, feel free to comment. I want to see the comments. You know, like, share, dislike, you know, whatever. Like I said, you don't need no seminars or nothing like that. It's all right here. Follow me on social media, all that good stuff. Check out my books on Amazon. If you like the content, you know, throw a couple coins in the well of wisdom. And remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. I'll catch y'all on the next video, all right? Peace.